Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 5090 in Where Winds Meet. This one is the Founders Edition model of the card. I'm running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech Power-Ups GPU Z, and over on the left, I'm pairing it with a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D and 32 GB of RAM. Let's get into it, shall we? Alright guys, first of all, I just want to say I've been playing the game for about 20 minutes now, played through the entire prologue section or whatever, and this is really polished for a free game. And looking at the settings of the game, you also see a lot of little things that you don't see in other titles, like motion sickness reduction. This is crazy! I've never seen this in a game. What? Also, we're using DirectX 12 here for this test with the 5090. I think it's adequate for it. And in DirectX 11, I didn't have access to DLSS. Right now, DLSS is set to natural, so I think that means DLAA. I enabled reflex over here, and NVIDIA frame generation is turned off at the moment. But you can enable this. I'm not sure if it enables like 4 times or 2 times, but we'll find out later in the video. And I'm using the maximum settings down here with real-time sunlight as well, which looks really good. Like, the game overall, again, it's a free-to-play title. The textures don't look that great. That's the only issue that I have with it, honestly, in terms of graphical fidelity, but everything else feels really good and looks pretty nice. Maybe it's a tad bit too dark right now, a bit contrasty, but that's about it. Aside from that, this is amazing. And another amazing thing is we're getting really smooth and stable frame rates. At least that's what I've seen from the last 20 to 30 minutes of gameplay. I've seen a couple of spikes when loading in new areas and so on, but it's actually pretty stable because it's in the Messiah engine. It's not UE5, so don't worry, my friends. It's going to be a fairly smooth experience from what I've seen. But I just got to the open world right now, so it could stutter a bit more here while loading some new areas and stuff like that, alright? Because the first section of the game was a bit linear, and there weren't many things to load, I guess. And over here, well, yeah, we're seeing like this little area over here. We already saw a couple of bigger spikes there in the frame time graph, but you know what? It's a free-to-play title. I will deal with it. Alright. When was the last time that we saw a game looking beautiful? It was, again, aside from textures, I think the textures could be a lot better and they could use a lot of work, you know? Like, it's only utilizing or allocating 7 gigabytes at 4K max settings after all. Oh, hello there, kind sir. How's it going? So I really think it should be a bit better. They should probably increase texture fidelity or the texture preset, do like an extreme setting on the textures, and then it would look amazing. 4K textures and so on, right? Because right now it's not really that beautiful in terms of that. But you know what? It reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima. That game also has pretty poor looking textures in my opinion, and it kind of works with all of the art style and so on. It still looks a bit better in this in terms of pretty much everything, I guess. Yeah, in terms of overall looks, I think Ghost of Tsushima still wins. But again, this is a free-to-play title, and it's looking really good. The art style and everything, I like it. Honestly, I don't have much to complain about in terms of graphics. And also, it's super easy to play if you use story mode. I was very skeptical about this game before I started. I thought, like, this is probably another Wukong type of game, you know, super hard. I'm not going to enjoy it too much, especially because I got to do the commentary thing while testing, and testing while playing a very hard game is very hard. It doesn't make for a very nice video, in my opinion, sometimes. But you can use the story mode in this one. You can adjust the difficulty settings. And it's great for people like me, you know, who aren't really that great at games, or at these games especially. Alright, there we go. Come on, a little stutter there. Probably, again, loading these new effects and so on from these guys. I also installed the drivers again from scratch because I played the first part of the game with the RTX 5080 and I wanted to test the 5090 first. Oh boy, come on, what am I doing? Okay, nice. That's my skill, of course. So maybe because I switched components and reset the drivers and so on, it needs to load in some things again. But aside from that, little stutter here and there. it runs really well. All right, finally. Oh, there's a guy over there. Okay, I also have a bow and an arrow, buddy. I will get you. There we go. Come on. There we go. Let's go. Show yourself. I can still see you. Oh, wait a second. Can I actually... There we go. What was he doing? Was he reloading? Does it take a while to reload? What am I doing? Okay, well, I'll take it. It's like a machine gun of arrows. Great stuff. All right, now you're gonna be dead in just a second. Come on. There we go. And now, this is the last one. Let me go with the sword again. All right, big boy over here. Big boy. Okay. Oh boy, dropping a little bit into the 1-teens, but overall, pretty stable, pretty smooth experience, guys. Whoo, there we go. Half HP. Come on, okay, let me just go over here a little bit. Just breathe for a second. Maybe loot these guys as well. Oh, yes, okay. You know what? I am so disrespectful to you that I loot your friends after I kill them while you're attacking me. Come on, come on. What is this? Let's go. All right, look at that. It's so cool. Oh boy, there are also plenty of different powers and attacks and stuff like that. This is not sponsored, by the way. It's just what I've seen in these first 20 minutes. And I liked what I've seen. Let's light this up. Probably conquering the outpost or something like that. I don't know. Maybe? Yeah? Are we burning this thing? No, it doesn't really burn the thing. Anyway, guys. Wait, can I explode these things? Probably, right? No? Wait. 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 Tell me this is gonna work. Probably not, right? Wait. Nah. Alright. How do I explode these things? No? Alright. Hello? More enemies? What are you doing? You're just hiding here this entire time? Are you serious, buddy? Alright, what a noob. Loot the guy as well. There we go. We got a new weapon. Replace. Yes. So will I use the... Wait. Yeah, okay. I never used this, actually. I didn't know that I could switch to it. For some reason, I told you already, I'm very bad at these games. Now, I want to go inside of the bamboo forest over here, because that could be a bit more GPU intensive, you know, a lot of vegetation and so on. Hello, people. I'm not gonna attack you right now, because I got more stuff to do and test. 130s, maybe it's not as GPU intensive. Actually. Now, I saw that DirectX 11 was a little bit more stable as well, but the only way you're gonna get DLAA in this one is with DirectX 12 again. So, better visual fidelity or more stability, you gotta choose there. It still has those little spikes sometimes in the X11, but it doesn't happen as frequently. Okay, so that's it for 4K resolution with DLAA, guys. I gotta say once again that I am very impressed with what we saw here, especially from a free-to-play title. Let's try to enable a bit of frame generation here next. And this is 2 times FG, so we started with 130 frames per second and now we're getting up to the 200s. So for a higher refresh rate experience here with a 5090 or with any other 40 series or 50 series GPU, you'll want to utilize some frame generation. First of all, I can tell a little bit of artifacting compared to previously, since the game has a lot of like grass detail and so on. You can tell that everything becomes just a little bit noisier. Big stutter there, by the way. Yeah, it becomes a little bit noisier when you're moving the camera around like this, but it's not that bad, honestly. If you want that higher refresh rate experience, you have one of those 4K OLED monitors, 240 Hz, those look beautiful and buttery smooth, well, enable frame generation, it's going to be worth it, in my opinion. I don't know what that is, so I'm probably not gonna check it out or grab it or whatever. I might die. Also, another great thing for testing in this game is that whenever it starts becoming late in the day, you can adjust the time of the day. Like, you can even adjust the time of the day. This is awesome. Like, sword hilt? What is this? Interesting. Okay. But yeah, look at this. Right now, it's getting a little bit darker. It's not great for thumbnails anymore. But you can select time there. and change the time to whatever you want. Like, do you want it to be the day after tomorrow at 11 a.m.? Well, you can do so. Look at this. It's not 11 a.m., it's actually midday, but yeah. Look at this, it's now midday, the day after tomorrow, and the time, or the weather has changed a lot, actually, so it's raining now. Still very... Oh, this is Jack! I didn't even notice, dude. How did I not notice that we were in the presence of the most beautiful being in the entire universe? Jack, what did they do to you? You don't have one of the eyes. Can I pet him? Oh, what the heck am I doing? Okay, I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry. You do you. You do you. Challenge failed? What was the challenge? I don't even know. All right, anyway. Let's kill these guys over here. I should probably press shift instead of the space bar sometimes. Like, it's all different. All of these games are different in terms of input, so I get a little bit distracted and confused sometimes. Oh, yes, there we go. There we go. Come on, come on. There it is. E. Okay. Kill the bastard. Oh, I like this. I'm not sure if I like the sword more than this, actually. Let's go. Whew, those little endings are beautiful. So smooth right now. Look at this. Damn. There is the odd little spike here and there, though. But honestly, I am more than satisfied with this experience here, guys. It is free to play from what I've played. It is very polished as well. It has a bunch of settings in the menu that I don't find in other titles. Well, not a bunch of them, the motion sickness one, but yeah. Especially for my girlfriend, for example, she had... Ooh, the water flickers dead. She has motion sickness in some games, and it's really cool to have that. I wish more games had that. Hello? So I was just hearing this guy talking, but who cares about bandits talking, right? We just want to get rid of the damn bandits. There we go. There we go. Come on. All right. So yeah, guys, if you've been wanting to play an RPG title, open world, that's free to play, that's well optimized in my opinion. We shall see with the mid-range system, of course, a little bit later in the week. What? It's a public road. Hey, why is he flying? Oh, he's supposed to be on top of a horse. Okay, so it's a bit buggy apparently. Oh man, that's... Yeah, I've not seen that before, okay? I keep saying that this is polished, but now we saw the true reality of it. Oh boy. Anyway, let's try a little bit of DLSS quality next. How many FPS are we going to get? 180s instead of the 130s that we were seeing before. And I want to see like the difference in quality. Trying to notice a difference here between DLSS quality and DLAA in this game. I think this is really similar. It might be slightly softer, alright? And now we're getting native 170s, 180s, but due to the nature of the game, I feel like frame generation is probably the way to go with DLAA because over here, yeah, it's just slightly softer. But there is always the option to play with DLSS quality plus frame generation. Let's see. And this bumps things up into the 260s. So if you want to max out those 240 Hz monitors all of the time, maybe not all of the time, it might still dip here and there, but this is the way. DLSS quality plus frame generation will give you those 240 plus, at least on average, all right? Oh man, that's a big slowdown there. It's becoming more unstable as we play. But well, I really hope the developers manage to fix those little stuttering issues here and there, because if they do, it's going to be an absolutely flawless experience all of the time. And, well, it's close to being that. As you can see right now, we haven't seen a stutter since we've left that area. It looks great, like... Yeah, it's very vibrant as well. It's just a bit too contrasty, as I said, but I feel like the overall look and vibe of the game looks great. Okay, there we go. Woo, boy. Look at that. That was awesome. All right. You can also... Oh, boy. I don't want to lure those. It is also possible for you to adjust the visual style. So this doesn't really change your FPS, but if you want it to be a bit brighter, for example, you can select bright, and as you can see, it's brighter. Of course it is, right? But yeah, there are a bunch of different visual styles to choose from, like warm, for example. Very different, isn't it? So you can adjust it to your liking. I left it at default, which is the 16 notes of music. Default atmosphere with high contrast. It makes sense, right? That's what I was telling you about. This is even more contrasty on intense, as you can see. It's really dark. I don't like this one. But yeah, there are a bunch of different ones to choose from. Vivid will maybe be a little bit more saturated. Yep, I can tell. On the water, for example, it's a little bit more blue, and the green is a bit more green as well. But yeah, guys, they give you a lot of options here to customize your experience, which is nice. All right, anyway, shall we disable this and try a bit of 8K resolution? Because since the game played so well, right, 8K might be possible to do. However, I will need to get out of the game, return to the desktop, and select 8K resolution in the desktop itself. So here we go, 7680 by 4320 resolution, and let's go ahead and play this again. And here we are. This is 8K resolution native, guys, I think. Let's see. 7680 by 4320 there. DLSS natural, so it's using DLAA and no frame generation maximum settings. When was the last time we saw 50 to 60 frames per second at 8K native maximum settings in a game? I think it's been a really long time, right? Especially not in the recent titles. I'm still having this issue where it doesn't really feel like we're getting the FPS that we're getting at 8K resolution. Yeah, these 40-ish FPS look like 30s for some reason. That's just because of the capture card, probably, because it doesn't really like whenever I test at these insanely high resolutions. Sometimes in a few titles, okay? It doesn't happen in all of them, but this one, it's a bit weird when it comes to the resolution that you set. Like, there's only windowed and full screen, and in full screen you can't even change the setting. So I feel like this game doesn't really like super high resolutions like these. But it's still very impressive that we can output 50 to 60 frames at 8K resolution native. Alright. That's crazy. Yeah, it's falling apart right now. Look at this. Yeah, I don't know. We're seeing some visual bugs here. It's probably because the game doesn't like higher than 4K resolutions. I can't fault them for that. It's free to play once again. But yeah, and nobody plays at 8K resolution, really. Maybe there's like one or two of you who do. But let's use performance DLSS and see if it gets better like this, because now we're rendering the game at 4K resolution and upscaling to 8K with DLSS. Still doesn't feel like 100 frames per second. It feels choppier than that for some reason. But yeah, it can get 100 FPS here without the use of frame generation either. Maybe if we use frame generation on top of this, we can achieve the smooth experience? Yes! Okay, so finally, at 150 FPS with frame generation, I think frame gen actually fixes the frame pacing issues here at 8K resolution. So it's not a matter of the capture card, actually, as I thought it was. It's just the game that doesn't really like 8K resolution. But yeah, now that the frame pacing is fixed, we're getting 150s. It's still very responsive, of course, because the baseline FPS were 100 frames. What are you guys doing? Hello? Where are you going? Where did you come from? I am so curious and invested in this right now. Let's see where they're going. What is happening? Oh, I can join them? What? Well of Heaven special training. That's what we're doing here. Shout a slogan. Next chant rush begins in 20-something seconds. Also, we're probably not hearing them shout because I disabled the voices and the songs and so on. Response to slogan, okay. Yeah. But they would probably be shouting, I think. Can I get out? How do I get out of the training? I don't want the training anymore. Hello? Well, good thing is, this was the last setting that I was going to try anyways in this video. So, yeah, that's done, guys. 150 FPS. If you're playing at 8K, if you're one of the 2 people watching this video who are playing at 8K with a 5090, well, just enable frame generation so you have a smoother and stable frame pacing here in this one, and you'll be fine. Also, I see a lot of pop-in. I haven't really talked about it. I'm not sure if it's because of 8K resolution. It was a bit less noticeable, I think, at 4K. So it could be just something weird going on with 8K once again, like those shadows previously, for example, that popped out of nowhere and then disappeared, and yeah, it's probably something bugged because of the super high resolution here. But thanks very much for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I'll try to figure out how I can get out of... Oh, there we go. It's just press F3, okay. Looks beautiful right now over here, actually. Look at this. The lighting, the reflection, the water. Yeah, it's great. I like it. And again, it is a bit stuttery. I did not expect it to be as stuttery here in the open world, but it is. I hope they fix it, but it's definitely very playable, and overall I think it's well optimized, aside from the stuttering again. And they could definitely improve the textures. That's the only 2 things that they need to do. Improve textures and fix the stuttering issues in some systems. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Love you all. Bye-bye.